And a very, very warm welcome along, everybody. How is everyone doing? Happy Wednesday. Feels very weird to say that, actually. I'm rarely live on Wednesdays. Welcome into Gemma Barnes, to Sarah Knight, to Sora Donald Goofy, to Seth Kearney, to Chad Northern, Phoenix Fire, Kanbei, and everybody else who may be lurking. We're going to be running Aerodactyl today. We're finishing off Fossil Week with the third of the 3 Gem 1 fossils. Welcome in, Urban Huntsman. I will be honest, I woke up about half an hour ago. I am incredibly tired today, but we are going to get this run all set up. I say we're going to get this run all set up. I've just accidentally flung my mouse halfway across my desk. That's not a good start. Let's get the challenge graphics up and let's set our Pokemon. So we are going to want to replace Cyndaquil, and we'll go all the way down to Aerodactyl. This patch, by the way, is in the description. You are going to need to find yourself a clean copy of Pokémon Crystal, and of course you are going to need to use an IPS patcher to patch it. We're going to go for Hidden Power Fire today, purely for Jasmine, and I tell you what, I feel like a fossil today. I slept for an ungodly number of hours, let me tell you that for nothing. Avoiding a work meeting for this stream, fantastic. Welcome, Gorik. You've made it to a live stream. Thank you so much for your very kind words there. And 2 in a row, Johnny Rankin. I love having 2 streams in a row, and I love seeing all you lovely people in for 2 streams in a row. I'm going to be really boring with a nickname, and I'm just going to call it Aero, which now makes me crave the chocolate. Let's double check the list. Yes, the Hidden Power type has been set to fire. We're going to save the game here just in case anything goes massively awry. And we'll get the timer going. We're running a little bit late, so I'm going to get this run going straight away. And we actually start off with a half-decent move. We've got Wing Attack, base 60 power. Absolutely glorious. I like the Mint Arrow as well. It is the best of all the arrows. Food talk already? Well, I did just have an Easter egg that I found lingering around in the back of the cupboard, so that was my breakfast. Incredibly healthy, I know. I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong with a good bit of Easter egg chocolate. I think it's some of the best chocolate you can get. Potion, PlayStation Network, Cure Berry. I think we're in the slow level up group. But we are just going to go as quickly as possible with this one. Exactly, Breakfast of Champions. Easter eggs are the best. I wish they were available all year round. It really does taste better in egg shape. You're not wrong, Snail Shoes. You could probably find it in a British store. Aero is bubbly chocolate. Welcome in, Elucindarum. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I do have my glasses on, so I've got absolutely no excuse today if I'm pronouncing anyone's names wrong. One of very few times I've actually remembered to put them on before stream, and I've not scrambled around to find them in the midstream break. Let's get this first rival beaten up, shall we? It's a Totodile, and it's a one-shot. Fantastic. It's chocolate with a load of air bubbles in. Aero is very delicious. It's the only Nestle chocolate I actually like. And I reckon it is because the shape makes it a little bit different tasting. I do like the Aldi version of Aero as well, though, to be fair. Definitely a scope lens I'm wearing with that very lucky critical hit. Although I'll tell you what I can't stand. I can't stand that popping fizzy chocolate. I remember back when I was a kid, Wonka brand had it, and it's absolutely awful. Oh no, even the thought of it now makes me feel a little bit ill. We have our Pokeballs, the run has officially begun. And this might be the last stream of the week. I've got some voiceovers that need doing, and I think Friday might be the only day I can feasibly get them done. I'm going to try and stream on Friday, but no promises. I'm not going to pre-upload any kind of streaming info, just in case. Trying to fish for another easy encounter there, but it just wasn't happening, so we'll go and beat up Joey instead. And I reckon this is going to be one-shot city for the most part to begin with. Especially because we'll be doing Sprout Tower. You know what? You're a bug catcher. You've got easy Pokemon to beat up. Let's take you on. I find it very weird that we can learn Headbutts, but I'm not going to complain because that's going to give us a decent normal type move for early on in game. I've given Hidden Power Fire just for the Jasmine fight. So we are going to have to pull something spectacular out of the bag for Lance, but I'm sure we'll figure out something. Probably a combination of Ancient Power and a Paralyzed Cure Berry, I reckon, for that battle. And I am very much looking forward to the next few months of content. I've got some interesting plans. The plan is to try 3 videos a week again. So what we're going to be doing is every other week it's going to be one of the end of the line runs. So one of those final stage evos with the red graphics. And then what I'm going to attempt to do is try and get some Gen 3 content out as well. So we're going to have to see how that goes. There we go. Sage Nico defeated. Let's move on to the next stage. We're going to do full trainers in here, because all of the optionals have just Bellsprout, and it's going to be a one-shot. And the beauty of this rock type, of course, is that Falkner's pesky Mudslap cannot hit us because we have the flying type. I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game. I know there is this thing called Poképelago, that's the thing from Gen 7, wasn't it? Archipelago, which can give you a chance to play both Pokemon Red and Blue, I believe, alongside Kingdom Hearts. And the items are shuffled between the 2 games. It's a very cooperative speedrunning experience. Let's take on this extra level 7 Bellsprout, and look at that, it goes away like all of the others. Oh, this one does have a Hoot Hoot, but again, a one-shot. We've got massive attack. 105 in attack combined with stab for wing attack. Nothing's going to stand a chance in the early game, not even this extra rat that showed its face. Let's take on Elderly, shall we? So yeah, some of the Pokemon items will get flung along to Kingdom Hearts, and some of the Kingdom Hearts items will get flung over to Pokemon. It's called Archipelago, I believe. There we go. HMO 5 acquired. We'll teach that later when we get HMO 1. For now, though, we'll just escape rope out of here. We've got 14 power points. Let's take on Birdkeeper Rod. And now let's do Falkner, shall we? One hit on the Pidgey, probably a 2 hit on the Pidgeotto. Never mind, we get another lucky critical hit. Definitely wearing that scope lens today. 645 for the Zephyr badge. We really are the Scarodactyl today. It's a shame we can't learn Rock Slide, but Ancient Power's got its benefits. Probably going to factor in an extra PP up on this run, just so that we can get 8 PP for the League on Ancient Power. We will grab that Purse Cure Berry. We'll need that much, much later on. Gonna do a little bit of fishing against the Zubat line here. Excellent, that's a one-shot. I wish I had Lance to boost the crit rate. Also, how well did Hawlucha do in its run? Didn't quite do as well as Flamigo, but still a very, very good run from Hawlucha. Getting a lot of optional encounters, we might as well take them on. Extra little bits of stat experience can make all the difference later on. Camperolin's down, let's now get another Wild Rat. First of the Great Balls, let's now take on Gordon. And again, one shot. Is there anything, barring like the rock type, that is going terribly for Aerodactyl? Oh, I just accidentally whacked my microphone then. I hope that didn't come through. Try to push my glasses back up. Let's shove that super potion up to tippy-top spot. We don't want to take on either of these hikers, thank you very much. Mate, can you stop looking my way? It's kind of rude. There we go. Oh, without my glasses, I can see the grand total of nothing. That Nurse Joy in the Silver Cave Pokemon Center, I can only assume that all she has done is help heal Red's Pokemon for the last 3 years. I remember saying that line. That's one of my favourite lines I've said in any challenge run, to be fair. You can't be confused if you're already fainted. The run is going spectacularly so far this run, David. We've had very lucky critical hits and key battles. And now we're catching the HM friends. And it's at this point I do want to say a very quick thank you to all you wonderful green names in the chat, the HM friends of the channel. That's why you've got the Pokeball icons next to you. Let's now unpause the timer and head into Slowpoke Well, where we see a Zubat again. Very simple one-shots with this Aerodactyl so far. And we have now learnt Bites. That's going to be great for a couple of niche cases. And yet again with the optional encounters. I remember you saying, Gemma, and I always appreciate it. Let's now take probably our first bit of major damage of the run. And by major damage, I mean 2 HP's worth. Exactly, like biting the ghosts and maybe the odd psychic type with higher physical defense than special defense. And Jake, if you're out there, I have just seen your thank you. You're very welcome. I know, 2 HP lost. It's devastating, especially seeing as it got healed by Kurt. I really should have said to Kurt, save your energy there. We don't need it. Poor Paris, 4 times weak to flying. Let's take on Bugsy. One shot with another critical hit, goodness me. And one shot. 12-14 for the Hive badge. He should feel guilty. Oh no, Water Gun did 16. Whatever shall we do? Into the forest we go now. Aerodactyl isn't available in Vanilla Crystal, but I can totally see why it's not available in Gen 1 until very late on. Honestly, the slow level up group with a Pokemon with such high attack probably won't make as much difference as we expect. Excuse me, Ether, can we be found, please? Thank you. I was having a chat with some friends a couple of days ago, actually, about the fossils. And we all were in agreement they took too long to level up to fit in your party, so none of us ever used them in Gen 1. Honestly, it's a boring answer, but I reckon Bite is the Dark type, because they needed some extra moves to fit in the Dark type category. Just pausing the timer to guarantee our Abra encounter, shall we say? There we go. Next Pokemon will be an Abra. That is true. Wing Attack in Gen 1 was significantly worse. That's not the person I was after. I was busy reading chat. So I was talking to a sign, assuming that I was talking to Camper Todd. That is true. Gen 1 Hyper Beam is a beast in and of itself. Where's that bicycle? Let's register that so we can move in double quick time. And let's complete the band with Kenya. Incredibly good reference there, Hainyao. So far, this thing is just completely chewing up Gen 2. In all three key battles we have had so far, we have critical hit against the right Pokemon. I don't know what Aerodactyl has done. I don't know if it's drunk some secret potion. And we're getting the Quick Claw, even though we absolutely don't need it this time. I just want to get into the habit of picking it up. I always find it fascinating how people have discovered the channel. I got a little bit cocky there. Thought we could Wing Attack a Raichu. We'll Head Butte it instead. Absolutely fine. Probably going to use a combination of Head Butte and Wing Attack against Whitney. We've got Hidden Power Fire for Jasmine. It's going to be a 2-shot on her Steelix from memory. But one Iron Tail will be enough to knock us out. So Jasmine is going to be the big sticking point of this run. Might as well take on Schoolboy Alan as well. What I really like is J-Rose definitely has his own way of doing content and his own way of measuring Pokemon's metrics. Was it really about 18 months ago, Kanbei? Goodness me. I wish we had that too, like on the purple site. But then whether you're old to the channel, new to the channel, or somewhere in between, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I rarely talk to you, but you people listening on the VOD, thank you so much for watching along as well. I've got to be honest, when it comes to the VODs, I kind of forget that people can watch these back. Yes, we have Hidden Power Fire because we've got absolutely nothing else for Jasmine. Right, let's see if we can flinch this cow a couple of times. There we go. And wing attack. Perfect. You were definitely around for a while before the first anniversary stream. I know that much. Let's get ourselves the squirts bottle. And let's now make our way towards Ecruteak City. There was a Poketuber, I can't remember who, but he pronounced it Ecruteak City, and that's lived in my head rent-free ever since. Oh no, I hope your arm gets... I was about to say I hope your arm gets better soon, but I hope you recover soon. And are at least able to change the batteries in your cartridge. I remember back where I used to live, in Manchester, there was a little watch shop in the market stall that used to replace batteries in old cartridges. To be fair, aerodactyling is a very good strategy in Gen 1. Well, it's very, very kind of you to say, Go Rick. Thank you. I never see myself as underrated or overrated. I just see myself as doing what we all enjoy. Aha, 5th of March 2023. All you lovely patrons, by the way, you should get early access to the Kingdra run on Thursday tomorrow. I need to remember to change the date on that. So for all of you channel members and you lovely patrons, what's happening is you're getting access to one video early. So we're going to be running one video ahead for anyone who is a channel member or a patron. Just as a little thank you. So nobody will ever have to wait longer than about 3 or 4 minutes late. 4 minutes late? 4 minutes longer, I should say. The whole reason I stream is because I love the interaction with chat. I love getting to know all you people. Why am I trying to deposit the HM friends? Clearly thinking of all you lovely lot in chat. Goodness me. But yes, streaming. The main reason I stream is because I love the interaction with the chat. I love getting to know all of you, and I love seeing what you all enjoy, what you don't enjoy. Because you lovely people who are in the live stream, you shape the channel more than you could ever imagine, because I'm always trying to pick up on what works, what doesn't work. And we always share ideas with each other. I mean, this Clefairy's just rude, isn't it? Absolute nonsense by this Clefairy. Tiffany, get in the bin. The main reason for going up here was to try and get Hidden Power. Please, no spoilers in chat for anybody who hasn't seen the latest releases of those 2 films that were talked about. Or maybe it's just 1 film. Who knows? Oh, I'd be terrible as president. It's far too much responsibility for me. I play a child's video game for a living. I remember getting the Gen 3 games from the local Asda down at the Trafford Centre as a kid. Right, we now have hidden power. That is fantastic. I reckon just for safety, we're going to go over to the lighthouse as well. We'll do full routing over there because we can grab ourselves some mint berry en route. Yes, Gen 4 really did help Aerodactyl out. For God's sake, I keep forgetting we have wing attack in top spot. You joke about that speedrunner, but honestly, I think everybody should at least give a go if they want to. I am very much against the idea that challenge running should be an exclusive club. Hence why we've got that patch now down in the description. Let's reunite the married couple. Stuck headbutt into top spot at the moment because we did have a couple of electric type Pokemon crossing our path, and we know how pesky they can be. Electric wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for all of the paralysis that comes along with them. I feel like Hidden Power Fire fits Aerodactyl thematically because for some reason we can learn Flamethrower. We do not get to Mud Slap looking at that, but for some reason we get Earthquake. So we're going to be running with a Hidden Power Fire for now. Yes, exactly, we will get Earthquake much later on. And Fire Blast. Not that Fire Blast is easily accessible in a Gen 2 challenge run. So I believe that is a Game Corner exclusive move. So we would have to spend an awful lot of money for a, quite frankly, terrible move. Yes, so one of the things with the patch is you can select your hidden power type. So when you set your starter, you will get an option to set your hidden power type as well. And it will ask you, all 16 hidden power types are in the game. And from there you can choose your hidden power type. And of course, it will give you the best possible DVs for that hidden power type as well. Get this rare candy, which we forgot yesterday. We're also going to take on Dennis because we want to go and grab ourselves Swagger. Swagger can be very useful for certain Pokemon towards the end of the game. If we can't two-shot that pesky Snorlax, we can try and make it damage itself as well. I knew there was a move I forgot to teach good old Paris. Bear with a second. We need to very quickly mess myself, as it were. So what do we want? We want Dig in slot 2, Cut in slot 4, and then we can teach Flash. Right. I have occasionally run Iron Tail. Not going to need it in this run because we've got Earthquake, which is infinitely better. Because the only use case for Iron Tail would be against Brock, and two of his Pokemon Iron Tail runs neutral against. Fortunately, Hidden Power Normal doesn't exist. You're not wrong there, Kanbei. You're not wrong at all. Should be a 2-shot on the croc? Yeah. Any Pokemon that can't learn Earthquake, that doesn't have a decent move for Brock, Iron Tail is a good play. I'm just going to pause the timer for a quick second, grab ourselves a quick sip of drink. And now let's unpause the timer and get ourselves through this gym. Yes, we have 90 in battle attack already. Of course, that is slightly boosted by one of the badges, but still fantastic in battle attack. Whitney gave us a boost to our speed as well. At least Aerodactyl learns both of those via TM. You'd have thought they could have given one by level up, though. No, they didn't add Hidden Power Fairy. One thing I am considering doing is, on a hack, I'm considering changing the Pokemon data formula slightly, so that we can have things like Hidden Power Normal. And it wouldn't be tied to DVs, it'd be tied to like a pseudo personality value. I am just for safety gonna plonk this Minceberry on Aero. So we've got Aero Mince. Welcome in, Lucas and Oddish. How are you both today? Fashionably late is always great. Oh, that rhymes. Haunter, I barely know her. Thank you for the £2 super chat pun. Kanbei. They have become a bit of a trademark of yours, haven't they? The ROM hack that Luke and I made does have the fairy type in, yes. You've just got home? That's not good. I know what time you're normally home on a Thursday. Hidden Power Normal for Pokemon without Headbutt would be great. It would fill that niche quite perfectly. Oh wait, it is Wednesday. Why did I think it was Thursday? It is Wednesday, my dudes. I reckon they didn't put much focus on Aerodactyl because it wasn't available in Gen 2 without trading from Gen 1. That could be scary, but at the same time, we've got a super effective wing attack. Wednesday for another 22 minutes. Make the most of that Wednesday, then. Right, let's beat up good old Chuck, shall we? We do not get the fossils anywhere in Generation 2. They're not even programmed into the game. Storm Badge in 3102. Now, we're not going to teach Fly to Aerodactyl because it does fewer damage per turn. Then what we're going to do is going to fly over to the Lake of Rage. Steelfang would be fantastic. We're going to go head-to-head with a red Gyarados? I thought they were supposed to be blue. Gyarados has a little nibble on us, but it's not enough. And we're going to do our housekeeping now. Where are those super repels? There they are. So there's a little bit of housekeeping we need to do at the moment. Going to grab the rare candy. We're also going to get this extra PP up just for Ancient Power. From here, we will move on to Azalea Town, where we'll get the charcoal. We'll be holding that in the Jazz fight. And they'll be selling it for money to get some extra vitamins. Gonna risk it for a biscuit for those extra few steps. Get the King ER. Might need that later. Wrong city, Squidge. We want Goldenrod. Nuggets and a rare candy. And we can now move on to Mahogany Town. Thank you so much for the $2, I beg your pardon, Super Chat, Sora Donald Goofy. I have run into a shiny on stream. I've run into a couple. One I remembered to catch, and one I was not paying attention at all, and I knocked it out. As chat likes to remind me of every so often. There was one, I think it was a Weedle. We were doing some grinding in Ilex Forest, so I pretty much zoned out because it's not hard grinding in the forest. Weedle came up and I knocked it out. And yes, there is of course that one in the Lake of Rage every single run. The very first shiny that was on one of my games wasn't caught by me. It was caught by my fantastic sister. She borrowed my Leaf Green for a little bit, and she caught a green Zubat. I was testing some code the other day and I did get a full odds shiny Hypno in the grass south of Goldenrod, which would initially have been a shiny Drowsy. Then I was a shiny hunter for years before I was a challenge runner. Kind of accidentally stumbled into challenge running. I really like the Bidoof line. But then I'm fond of rodents and I'm fond of normal types. We have the password now. I did find out as well the other day that there is a category extension on speedrun.com for custom starter challenges in Pokémon Crystal. You have to play on 1x speed, the payoff being that you can use any kind of item in battle. And I'm incredibly tempted to give that a go at some point in the near future. I always enjoyed Pokémon Crystal. I always thought it had the most potential for completely mixing up the route, because Gen 1, by the time I discovered challenge running, was already optimized to within an inch of its life. However, Generation 2 had an awful lot that could still be done with it. So I just thought it'd be interesting to see what I could do in Gen 2. Because my first Pokemon game was Gold, so Johto's always going to have a soft spot for me. Combine that with the fact that Gen 2 was a relatively untapped game at that point, I thought, let's just go for it. But my way of learning the game wasn't actually watching other challenge runners, it was watching a bunch of the world record speedruns. So I thought, if I watch other challenge runners, I'm going to get stuck in the same old routing that they are. But if I watch speedruns, and especially the world record top 1, 2, 3 or whatever, I'm going to learn stuff that maybe the other challenge runners haven't picked up on yet. It would definitely be something I'd do over on Twitch as opposed to here on the YouTubes, if I was to do it. Still not a guarantee, it's something I am pondering. We say the 16 badges are hard to beat, but the lion's share of the Cantonian gym badges are a little bit laughable. Glacier badge in a very nice 37-37. I'm very out of the loop with other challenge runners. I will be honest, I don't really watch any other challenge runner content. Mostly because I don't like the idea of watching them and, first of all, having a bit of a crisis of confidence because they could potentially get far better times than I ever will. But also, I don't really like picking up ideas from other runners. I want to learn it all myself. I'm very stubborn in that way. I like knowing that I've done something myself without any extra help. Which is kind of why I forgot to put on the charcoal for this battle, didn't I? It doesn't matter either way. Oh, Iron Tail didn't one-shot this time. Fantastic. But that's part of the reason why I'm not very fond of the backseating, shall we say. Because I want to feel proud of myself for knowing that I have done it all by myself. But I'm always of the opinion that nobody's a bigger critic of yourself than yourself. There have been plenty of times where I've got a very, very good, close group of friends who I confide pretty much everything in. And they quite often get a little preview of the content, especially if I'm not feeling too confident about it. And their word is gospel to me. If they say it's good enough, it's going up. If they say I need to change something, I will absolutely change something. Let's dump all of these protein into our Aerodactyl. We'll use the Calcium as well. And we'll give the King ER to Aerodactyl. We are actually only going to make a very quick visit to Goldenrod City right now because we're going to do the ice path now so we can pick up that extra protein and try and time sticking it in perfectly. That's some extra pel there, isn't it, actually? Let's grab that so I've got bag space for the maxes. Have I done a Stylix run? Not yet, but it is on my recording list. So Stylix is coming by the end of the year. Because I'm just that cool, I have a spreadsheet with plans until the end of the year. Including current status of run. Be it planning, recording, editing, or just sitting there ready to be voiced. As it stands, all of the content up until September, well, the end of September now, has been recorded and edited for that matter. The September runs are getting ready to be voiced over from this Friday. I'm going to be running a few weeks ahead of myself so I can hopefully take the Christmas period off. And now what we're going to do is, because Bonkers, my little kitty cat, he needs a little bit of a feed. What we're going to do is we're going to take our break slightly early, considering we're only 42 minutes into the run. But I'm going to take just this one break this stream, so it's going to be a little bit earlier on. So we're going to have a 3-minute break now. Plans for the Jigglypuff line, yes. Going to be doing Jigglypuff in January because there's the J and the J, and I kind of like that idea. That's the initial plan at the moment. But we're going to take a very, very quick break now. It's going to be 3 minutes long. Then we shall carry on with the rest of this run. So I'll see you all in 3 minutes' time. Apologies for the slightly extended break there. I got distracted talking about mattresses of all things with one of the wonderful mod team. Let's now carry on, shall we? And we shall do the radio tower. I've recorded a Hoppip line. That's going to be part of a new series from the archives. So the archive series, what's going to happen is everyone is going to get access to the first video initially, and then it's going to be channel members first, so everyone else will be one run behind. It's going to be a monthly series. I don't know which brand my mattress is from. I've got my phone here. Did I ever bother signing into Amazon on my new phone? Because those of you who are around the stream before, you knew that my phone was... It had the battery life of a stopwatch before. Let's change those graphics back to blue, actually. This isn't part of the end of the line series, so that means we are doing the blue graphics. I'm going to try and color code all the graphics for the upcoming runs as well. So if it's fire red, it's going to be red graphics. If it's emerald, it's going to be green graphics, etc. Why am I trying to use a flying type move against a Magnemite? That's not going to work. Good morning, Silver Steel. We are absolutely flying through this run. But I got my mattress from Amazon of all places because the old mattress was terrible. That was an Argos cheap and cheerful one. And I tell you what, sticking this new mattress on top, I say new mattress, I've had it a couple of years now. The best decision I've ever made. Leeds is just over the Pennines from me. I know it fairly well. Oh, it's a Silent Night mattress I've got. Oh, I've had it for just over a year now. But mattresses are incredibly important to not buy cheap on. Are we going to get... We got Toxic stalled, for goodness sake. A little bit of overconfidence there, here in the radio tower. Instead, we're going to headbutt all of these and hope for the flinches. That's the trouble with some of these very, very good Pokemon. You end up getting incredibly overconfident. There's a run coming up where I talk about that in quite a bit of detail in the Kanto section. Because overconfidence is a big issue with very good Pokemon. Because there will always be a single trainer, at least, in the run, who can stop you in your tracks. It's just a case of identifying that trainer and remembering that you're not invincible. It may feel it at times, especially with a Pokemon like Aerodactyl. There's always something that can stop you in your tracks. Plans for Celebi? Not in the near future, but it will get done. Every single Pokemon will get its spot on the leaderboard at some point. But not in the near future. We do have Ho-Oh coming out soon, actually. Gonna try and free up a little bit of bag space here. Got some stuff that probably doesn't need to still be in the bag. And we'll take on rival number 4. Yes, the wall will always show up. Not happy with the order of these moves, so I'm just going to pause the timer a second and think what order I want. I think Wing Attack, Ancient Power, Hidden Power Headbutt. That makes sense to my brain. We'll do that order. Bring on the Wall. That was... What even was that program, really? The caps works for that Kanbei. Like, I'd have been disappointed if they weren't in capsules for that one. Hole in the Wall was one of those TV series that, in the mid-noughties, they just thought they could put any old crap on the TV. If you remember, I think it might have been 2009, 2010. There was a program called Don't Scare the Hare. I think it was hosted by Mel Gedroych. And it was like somebody had come up with a concept for a board game, but decided, no, we're not going to do it as a board game. We're going to do it as a TV program instead, and maybe have a tie-in board game if it's successful. And I don't know how it got commissioned. Completely agree. Wing Attack having 35 PP is very OP. Will it be doom and gloom for Gloom? Of course it will be. I remember Dick and Dom in the Bungalow back in the early 2000s. One of the mods, I'm not going to name names, but one of the mods here was on Wonky Donkey on SMTV. With Ant and Deg. I'm sure he won't mind me giving that bit of trivia without revealing exactly who he is. Yes, one of our mods was on SMTV, doing the Wonky Donkey. Very happy to speak to Cat Dealey. I saw SMTV over Live and Kicking as well. Do you remember Brian Dowling came in for one of the final series, and instead of Challenge Ant, it was Brian's Brain? And it just didn't have the same vibes. There we go, that's the shot I meant to do here. Let's do a cheeky little heal as well. And let's finish off this pesky radio tower section. Just going to move the microphone ever so slightly closer. Sitting a little bit more laid back now for the latter part of stream. Tell you what show I always enjoyed, Get Your Own Back. That was a very British show. Also, one of my earliest memories is going to a Playdays Live, the Playbus back in the 90s. Yes, with Dave Benson Phillips. Why haze of all moves? There we go, we're through the radio tower. Get Your Own Back was a program where children who had grievances with their parents had an excuse to dip them in the gunge tank. There we go, radio card acquired. I reckon it's about this point in the run where Headbutt is going to be replaced with a return. We do have the King ER. The Play Bus was the live thing I went to. Kids program called Play Days. I actually have a few signed bits and pieces from the old Gladiators back in the 90s, because that's one of my favourite TV programs. I was very fortunate to go to a recording of it in 97. I mean, of all the things to get a personal video from, Basil Brush is pretty cool. Funhouse was very fun. New, the Playbus was mildly educational kids program. It's the kind of comedy you'd expect from a kids program, really, combined with a bit of educational. Like my favourite educational style kids program when I was a kid was Come Outside, with Auntie Mabel, played by Linda Barron, who was born very close to where I was born, actually. Yes, I'm the same. Oh, for God's sake. Another unnecessary reset. Genuinely thought Return would have been powerful enough at this point. Might stick on the pink bow just in case. Kind of like the Magic School Bus, but instead of it being animated, it was live action with puppets playing the younger characters. This is going to be a range. Still going to be a range. Very lucky there. I didn't want to crit. The one time we didn't want to crit is the time we crit, but the pink bow was the solution there. I was too old for Lazy Town, but it was my little brother's favourite show on the TV as a kid. Right, let's get ourselves the final badge. Of Johto, anyway. Rising badge in 5606. Let's dig our way out of here. Should have enough money now for some max repels, so we'll do a teleport. Cheeky little heal, and we'll grab those max repels. And let's head on over to New Bark Town. Time to head over towards the Pokémon's League. I reckon this should be a mixed bag of fortunes. Going to actually take on Megan for once because we have the wing attack. We are running at a very low level compared to a lot of other Pokemon going into the league. So I do want to get a level or two extra going in this way. Just because it's better to be safe than sorry. High attack should make up for it all, but we are quite frail. I'm particularly concerned about Lance. Slow level up group is a very frustrating level up group. Especially when it comes to this point of the run. Because generally they are decent Pokemon in this group. But you make up for that by having a significantly lower level. If we were in the fast level up group, we'd probably with the same number of battles be... In fact, let's pause the timer and see how much experience we've got. We've got 131649. I am going to actually, for once, have a look at the experience group and see exactly how much we would, what level we would be at in fast experience. So we would be level 54 with a fast Pokemon at this point. So a whopping 7 level difference for the same number of battles. And if we were in something like... Is it erratic? That's the quick one. I think it is, and fluctuating's the painfully slow one. We might even be a higher level still. I think Mew's actually a medium fast, medium slow. I know it's not in slow because it's a mythical. Yeah, exactly. 7 levels is an awful lot. Welcome in, Peter. Mew is medium slow. Thank you, Kanbei. Right, Hidden Power Fire has served its purpose. We will say hello to Earthquake in its place. Sneasel has all the defenses of a wet paper bag. We'll swap to Earthquake for the Magneton. Two-shot regardless on for Alligator, but I can't see it doing too much damage. Earthquake for the Haunter. And we'll stick with Earthquake for the Kadabra. Welcome in, James. I'm feeling medium slow today, I've got to be honest. Beat the rival at just over the hour mark. We'll do a heal and we will say thank you to the wonderful HM friends. Thank you to Kenya, to Abra, to Psyduck, merci to Paris, and a big thank you to all you lovely green and blue names in the chat. We shall acquire ourselves 4 full restores, and without any further ado, we'll make our way into the league. First league members Will, he is of course a psychic type specialist leading with a Xatu. Welcome in, Alejandro. You're never late, it's just the stream is early. Very nice critical hit there on the Slowbro. We'll go to the wing attack for the Executor. And then we'll throw a rock at the Xatu. 101.03 for Will. Let's move on to Koga. Couple of unnecessary resets here on the Aerodactyl. Bit of overconfidence. But still a very good run so far. Gonna fish for an Omni Boost, you know. We get one first try. Fantastic. Completely opposite of the Omastar run. We'll throw another rock at this for Crobat. And we'll finish off the Venomoth with a wing attack. No thank you to the Hyper Beam, not in this gen. 101.47 for Koga. Elixir, he barely knows her. Let's move on to Bruno. Of course, this time we're going to be running neutral to the pesky fighting type. It's going to be a range on this Earthquake, but we one-shot anyway. That should hopefully be 3 simple one-shots, maybe a 2-shot on the Machamp. Perfect. Bruno being no issue whatsoever. Where is that Bitterberry? Let's try Karen. There we can see the Karen strategy working perfectly. Because if you go in with the HP up and the Bitterberry, she's less likely to use that pesky sand attack on you, and she went for Confuse Ray, which we have the Bitterberry for. Karen was no issue there. 103.16. And now we want the Persecure Berry, which should be quite high up in the bag. Some live streams get edited down, others stay up. This one isn't getting edited down, no. It slightly banjacks my PP management here, but we should hopefully be okay. Even with the crit, we're fine. Fantastic. I meant to ether Ancient Power for this battle, but we just about scraped through, even with that crit. Final league time of 104.43. Gonna have a very quick sip of drink and then we'll do Kanto straight away. Very happy with that league, honestly. It's the best league I've ever done with Aerodactyl. Everything works out perfectly. And you know it's got to be true because I rarely compliment my own gameplay. Let's move these max repels up to tippy top spot. Just over an hour, not a bad time at all for the league. And we're not going to get Flamethrower from Goldenrod. We can't afford it at this point anyway. Sub-hour league is definitely possible with Aerodactyl. Not with that kind of movement though, goodness me. I always say at about 10 minutes on to the runtime when we do a stream together because I'm not going to be fully focused on the stream. I'm much more focused on you lovely people in chat. I'll tell you what, this waterfall is the absolute bane of my life in Gen 2. That specific waterfall catches me more than anything else. Apart from maybe the rock, which I have to get off the bike for in Ice Path. New routing for this rare candy as well. We grab it after the league because it's slightly less movement. And then we can TP back to Olivine and get ourselves on the boat. That's something suggested to me by the wonderful Snowy. I reckon we're going to be bumping into red around about level 63, looking at our levels at the moment. Maybe a little bit lower. We shall have to see how we get on throughout the course of the next 8 gyms together. And of course, the first thing we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto and Kanto, actually. Getting another rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon Fan Club. We have Earthquakes, so we're going to give Lieutenant Surge a go. I can see this being a bit of a foregone conclusion, you know. Just as we expected, 5 simple one-shots with 5 simple earthquakes. Thunder Badge in 108.14. Let's move on. Dip in there to TP back later. This is a run where we're actually going to pick up the PP up on the bush. Rarely get this one these days. Mostly for that reason there. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and that. So it's going to be handy to have some extra Earthquake PP as well. Welcome in, Frenchie. Gen 8's gym theme was fantastic. Gonna do quick Celadon gym. We're not gonna take on the Hop It Skip Bloom lady. Yes, only Lance's Aerodactyl in Gen 2 can have Rock Slide. He cheats. More to add to the file against him, you know. I don't mind a bit of jazz every so often. Unless it's jazz in the Pokemon game, in which case she can go to hell. 147, 110.01 overall for Erica. The lie with the illegal flyers. Down the cycling road we go. One mandatory trainer here, Birdkeeper Bob with his Noctowl. This routing trades off a mandatory and 2 very difficult trainers to avoid, in the place of 2 mandatories, both easier battles, so. Good lord, we didn't one-shot that Crobat. Rest of the battle will be easy. Still. No, I don't really watch other challenge run channels. We mentioned this actually a little bit earlier on in stream. I don't like watching them because I don't like, A, comparing myself to others, because that's exactly what I will do. And B, I don't want to pick up any strats from other runners that I've not come up with myself. That is very true. You can get low-level Dragonite in Let's Go. Anyone who's au fait more than me with Gen 5, what is the level you get the Dragonite in the Rippling Bubbles in Gen 5? Is that underleveled? I think the best of those is the Salamence you can get in Gen 7. At like level 7 or whatever it is. Thank you, Luke. You think they're underleveled? Wouldn't surprise me, you know. Right, back to Saffron we go. You know, the accent is over the O in Saffron. Exactly. There's always going to be someone in the comments accusing others of copying runs, copying strats. Aerodactyl Dragonite's a genius shout, you know. 1:12:46 for Sabrina. We're starting actually to see the slow experience group becoming a bit of an issue now. Because there are some of these trainers where we're just about out of one-shot range. I'm going to grab that machine part now because I've got a nasty habit of forgetting it. Alright, let's take on Nugget Bridge. Dudley's down. Now it's time for everyone's favourite trainer. It's Wiggly Gran. She's wiggly and she's got a Gran in her team. She's wiggling it about like nobody's business. Goodbye, Wiggly Gran. We'll see you in the next run. You know, we've got to do something to make Nugget Bridge bearable, and if we have to be disgusting, we absolutely will be. I've got to be honest, I am not looking forward to the Dragonite run. It is on the to-do list of recordings. Also on the to-do list, though, is Wobbuffet, and that's going to be an absolute woe buffet. Here is the last with the double Parasect, one of the worst teams we'll face later on in game. Shannon, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself being on Nugget Bridge with Pokemon in the 30s in the post-game, and you've got an atrocious team. I have done a Dunsparce backport, yes. Bramble's budget Ursaring, but the payoff for it being budget Ursaring is that it does have the pink experience group. It's going to be the fact that we're starting off as a Dratini that's the thing that's really terrifying me about the Dragonite run. Only a very low roll will stop us in our tracks here, and we got a high-ish roll. Cascade Badge. In a 1:15:33. So yes, the Dragonite run's going to be starting off as a Dratini, so it's going to be shocking. Zap Cannon acquired. Lavender Town, that's where we're going. Little bit of a brain fart then. Expin cards so we can expin our radio. Now it's also Vermilion to wake up that pesky Snorlax. No, it's not a end of the line run. It's going to be the full run, a little bit like the Magikarp run we recorded. That Magikarp run is, I believe, the first run in September. It's the next one I've got to voice over. We also have our first Hitmon coming out towards the tail end of September. It's going to be Hitmontop. I'm very proud of how I managed to get it to evolve into a Hitmontop correctly. We did Hyper Drill for the Evo with the Dunsparce. We did it correctly because there's no point in doing a backport if you're not going to put full effort in. Yes, it was Splash until Tackle at level 15. Yes, it took an awful long time to get to level 15. You'll see it's in a few weeks' time. It was absolute torture. It's one of the very few times I've taken a mid-run break after the Falconer badge. Overquill would be a nice one. Problem is that Sprite would be a right pain in the bum to do. We did do a Splash Off versus Hoppip in the Magikarp run. Several Hoppip sacrificed their HP to make that run work. Two fairly unnecessary resets. That should be two, actually, shouldn't it? One in Claire's gym, one at the top of Radio Tower because of overconfidence. I'm not going to give spoilers about a number of tries it took to get through Gym 1 as a Magikarp. Right, same situation as yesterday. We're pausing the timer to deposit the HM friends because Blue's AI is going to try and get rid of this Aerodactyl. And it is not fair on Aerodactyl to have an arbitrary bit of time added onto the run because of Blue's AI. So we will pause the timer after the Blue battle to retrieve the HM friends, and that is not going to count as a reset. Ouch, that rock slide hurt. Not unexpected there from Blue. Let's stick on the lefties. Kind of fishing for the Omniboost there, but it didn't happen. Eos Fury attack this battle should be relatively painless now in comparison. Extreme speed. Raw, fail, foot. Fantastic. Should be a two-shot here on the Executor. There we go. Blue was defeated. Earth Badge acquired. It's amazing how just one move difference can change how a battle goes. We'll pause the timer to get the HM friends back. And now we shall fly over to Pallet Town, have a chat with Oak, and prep ourselves for the red battle. So Gyarados saw the one-shot with Hydro Pump on the first attempt. So he went straight for Hydro Pump. He didn't see a one-shot that time because we were going in at higher HP. So instead he's going to set up to try and get that one-shot. Right, going in at level 60, I'm just going to check how much experience we have actually. No sense in grinding to another level. Let's go through Silver Cave. And let's dig in for a red fight where we're going to be fishing for an Omni Boost, would you believe? That's going to be the play. That's going to be the best way to get through this battle. Let's see how we get on. That was a crit, goodness me. Right, 3 rare candies going in. Another 3 rare candies. This is fairly hopeless, I've got to be honest, until we use all 10 rare candies. I would love Aero to give me 3 Omnis. That was the perfect start there. If we high roll with return, we're in with a shout, but we didn't. Right, okay. And he crits. Of course he crits. You cannot get an Omni Boost if you knock out in Generation 2. You're absolutely correct there. Which is going to actually make this battle a little bit trickier now. In fact, I'm going to bend my rules ever so slightly. We're going to go in with just 3 rare candies. Oh, that's the worst possible outcome there. We get the Omni and then we get Charmed. I'm going to actually move Ancient Power to top spot. And at this point, Earthquake is redundant on the learn set. Because this will give us a couple of options now for the Blastoise. This Blastoise is a 3 to 4 shot regardless of what we do. And you know what? At this point, we're going to use that last rare candy. Aerodactyl doesn't have the easiest red battle, I will say. There's an Omni Boost, which is fantastic. Please don't backseat Silver Steel. As we saw there, not everything of Red's one-shots. However, we one-shot the Snorlax. Boosted Wing Attack's fine against the Venusaur and will throw a rock at the Charizard. It came across as backseating. Apologies for reading it wrong there, Silver Steel. Not everything of Red's one-shots. It's just he sends out the more difficult Pokemon at the beginning, which makes sense, doesn't it, really? But yes, one Omni Boost in the right place combined with a bit of swagger luck, and we've got a fantastic time. That's the trouble, Silver Steel, actually, with... See, speaking over text, it's very difficult to know the intent behind a message sometimes, so there's always going to be a bit of misreading communication every so often. What was that? So 127.10. Very, very happy with that time. Let's get the leaderboard all generated up, shall we? Yes, exactly. Context is very hard to gather over text. And sometimes a legitimate question might be misread as backseating. They definitely did give Pikachu the extra levels to make up for the lack of stats. Can we see where we ended up on the stream leaderboard? We are in 4th place. Not bad going at all. Gramble was mentioned earlier. Gramble's our highest non-legendary on our stream leaderboard at the moment. But that was a very, very fun stream. Very happy with the Aerodactyl. It might be the last stream of the week. It depends if I've got the time for another stream later on this week. If it is the last stream of the week, I do hope you have a lovely weekend, everybody. I will be around on Thursday for the pre-record, this time 2 PM tomorrow. And thank you so much to Kambay and Sora Donald Goofy for the 2 super chats each. And I shall be around in the Discord if anybody wants to chat about anything about any of these runs. And of course, I will be around for another stream early next week. And remember, Friday next week, the big Girafarig Leader stream to celebrate the channel's anniversary. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day, everybody, and I'll see you all very, very soon.